Hi guys, so today I am going to be styling, I guess styling's the word I'm looking for. Prompto's wig, or Prompto's hair, whatever you want to call it. I did one before and it was okay, but the wig just wasn't the best quality, and it ended up being too tight on my head because I have a big head. This wig is from Arta, and it's a Jaguar. I want to say it's in Champagne Blonde. I'll link it below when I upload this. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. It's going to take a while because there's a lot. Well, this part will take a bit. The rest of it's kind of just layering it, shortening a little bit. So that won't be too bad. So I'm going to start on this side here, which is my right side, but it'll be the left side facing out. And I have a reference picture, which is really useful instead of trying to pull that from memory, because I have the game pulled up and they have the dialogues, or not dialogues, dossiers of each character you meet in the game. So I have Prompto pulled up where I can see his head and you can zoom in and whatnot. And I'm really congested today for some reason. I don't know why, so if I sound even more weird than I normally do, that's why. So some of the things I'll be using is my little homemade spray I showed you guys in the Ozawa wig tutorial. It's just water, and I change what I put in it every single time. Sometimes it's coconut oil, sometimes it is a leave-in conditioner like it is today, sometimes it's regular conditioner. It's just whatever I feel like putting in. It's just to help with the frizz and kind of make it more, or I can manipulate it and stuff like that. And then I'm using a comb like this. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it says on here. It's got the pointy end on it. It's suggested to use more like a wide tooth comb to like brush out tangles if you're restyling it, but since this has been an untouched wig, or at least by me, I don't really need to use it. I like using the little ones, but it makes it so it doesn't catch on the tangles as much. And then I have these clips in. I think they're called alligator clips. I'm not sure. You can get them at Target, even the dollar store, Sally's Beauties, any place like that. And then I have shears. They're not the best quality in the world. Again, you can get shears anywhere. I would suggest getting them from like the $20 ones from Sally's Beauties, Sally's Beauty, because that's just going to be a better quality. I got these at Big Lots. They were $2. These I did get at Sally's. These are layering shears. Can you see it? Almost. Come. You can do it. There, kind of, sort of. Anyway, yeah. They have like little teeth on them where you're not like just cutting a chunk off. It's where you can layer down. And because these shears, the non-layering ones, don't work that well, I have these if I have any problems. They're just regular old scissors. I'm also using Mega Grip Premium Bobby Pins. I also got them from Sally's Beauty. Now I understand why they're always complaining about autofocus. Okay. I get it. You see them? They are sturdy. When I tell you they are sturdy, I use them in my own hair too. They do not move. Like, regular bobby pins would kind of like drip down and just kind of go like that. These, as you can tell, are holding straight. They're pretty great. I was just looking for things while I was there and I saw them. It's like, I go through bobby pins. Why not use it? And next, later on, I'll be using this hairspray again. It is the Aussie Insta-Freeze hairspray. It's 24 hours extreme hold. It's got 4 little dots. It's apparently UV protection for hair, so stuff like that. And then I use this stuff. I got the travel size at Target. There we go. It is Moco D Gorilla. It's supposed to like hold it really sturdy, which I find it does a pretty good job, and you don't really need a whole lot of it. So, and I want to say it was like $1 or $2 in the travel section at Target. And then I just have it on a head. I have it on a box, so a little box, so I can get the ends and stuff, and it's not like on the table. Alright, I'm gonna do this corner piece first right here. I always get super nervous about cutting, especially this one, because the last wig gave me so much heartache. It was rough. I don't know why I'm all congested. This is just that time of year. So, I always cut longer than I need to so I can trim upwards. Because if I just went shoot and then I fucked it up, can't do much about it. It's not going to grow back like people hair. So, I don't think I can zoom my picture in anymore. So it goes, I'm going to half this little chunk here. I put so much detail into this hair. Go back to the 90s where it's just polygons. I'm really impressed with these bobby pins, you guys. I know that might seem silly, but they are just impressive. And I also have like the water to help with this and kind of get it off my hands. I have a towel over here because once you get to like that, it just gets really sticky and everything will stick to you and the stuff you've cut off, and it's just a mess. So don't want to have to deal with all that. So I think I'm going to cut it here and go up. Cut it right here where my nail is, and then go up as I need to. Don't fall. This tripod's not the best, but it's better than nothing. Stay. Do not fall, you're too expensive. What angle is it at? Okay, so. Whoosh. And I'm just gonna trim it up from there. Again, I didn't do it, but tape your wig head down, make your life easier, and put a T-pin in the middle so the wig doesn't fall off. I haven't found mine, and I keep forgetting to get them when I'm at Joann, so again, do as I say, not what I do. Didn't you hate hearing that shit when you were a kid? And now we say it ourselves? Now, you get older, it's one of those things, you understand it when you get older. Like when your parents would be like, parents or teachers are like, you'll understand when you get older, and you're like, I want to understand now. And then you get older and you start saying it, and it's like, it really is stuff that you'll understand when you get older. Alright. That's okay. I'm going to leave it right there for now. A little piece. Get my hand wet just because it just makes it easier. It's like, I mean, it doesn't really, this analogy doesn't make sense, but like when gymnasts do that chalk powdery stuff, so they can just do what they're gonna do. You guys know what I'm talking about. Or you don't. Whatever. It's cool. I'm gonna try to edit this video down so it's not as long as the Oswald, because there's a lot of it where I'm just gonna be cutting and snipping. And I'll try to like fast forward so you don't miss anything, but at the same time you're not sitting there for 30 minutes just being like, okay, but what's the next step? She's been cutting for 30 minutes. I can't get my thing open. My gel. Ugh. When in doubt, just take the lid off. Ah! You can't even see. Okay. Really didn't need that much, but okay. Just putting a little for right now so it doesn't get cut into anything else. I already definitely prefer this wig better to the last one. And then same with this piece. It's a little bit chunkier. And it's a little bit longer. So I'm gonna go here. And I'm angling up, like bottom up. Need to cut it some more. Actually, I think that's okay. It's not too terrible. And then it's also good to like not only set everything up with the pins like I did, kind of where you generally want to cut and style, but also it helps to like pin things out of the way so you don't accidentally cut something you didn't mean to cut and stuff like that. And I just got it like a little bit on my thumb and my forefinger. I'm probably doing something really offensive to somebody somewhere. My apologies, no ill will intended. And then I just did that. Can you guys see? I like doing wig tutorials, but I also find them kind of difficult because at the same time, I don't know. We're looking at these two pieces here. This is what I've done. I know what I'm doing wig-wise, kind of, but filming, I'm not the most confident. Eventually, I'll get like a real fancy setup, but that's not going to be anytime soon, so don't get your hopes up. It's going to be a box and this $15 tripod I got. And my fancy camera. You like the quality? It's so much better, isn't it? I'm so happy. The next piece. Now this is that long cheek one. Don't be a hoe. Meow, meow, meow. I make weird noises, you guys. You'll be alright. I promise. So I need like this stuff. And this is what I like doing. You guys might be like, why don't you know what you're doing and have everything planned out right first? But that's why I like to do my tutorials as I'm doing them. One thing, it saves money. Two, I want you guys to learn as I'm learning, because that's how I learn. I know that didn't make any sense, but like not only am I a kinetic learner where like I have to touch things and do it to really know how to do it, but if I am watching somebody do it, I need to do it simultaneously so it makes sense to me. And kind of walk me through the process simultaneously. And you don't see a lot of stuff for learners that are like that, because a lot of people who teach, I've just noticed this over the years, they teach the style they learn, and that makes sense, but at the same time not everybody learns the same way. And that's why these videos are a little bit longer, because while it being filmed in real time, you don't have to keep pausing it and double checking and being like, okay, did I do this one tiny little step right? And it take you twice as long to get it done, and then you don't really remember what you've done. And it can be just frustrating, and you are like, okay, never mind, I'm not going to do this anymore. Which can be really discouraging. I want that much hair. My ear would be here-ish. Do they make head models with ears? What? No. I'm gonna have to edit you out of this. Thank you. She has no idea what I'm talking about. I probably won't. I might. Who knows? Alright, I'm just trying to clip everything out of the way that I don't want to cut. Okay, so basically while I was rambling, I found like the top layers of this piece I wanted to cut and brought them over so I can do like it's kind of sweeping down. If that makes any sense. What, babe? Just gonna do this for a while and I'm sorry. You got cuddles earlier. Why are you crying? I'm not confident. I'm stalling because I'm not confident in where I want to cut. If I want to cut this bit. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do it. Gonna do it, Barb. Barb's the cat that's yelling at me. We're gonna go longer than intended. Oh, these scissors are trash. There. Okay. And then I'm just gonna trim up from here. It does amaze me though that like there are people who can just look at something one time and get it. I'm like, how? What magic? Alright. And I'm just gonna... yeah? It's really thick, so I'm gonna layer it out a little bit. I just thinned it up a little bit because it was really thick. It was like 2C thick. And boop. Alright, it doesn't look awful. It's not great, but it doesn't look awful. And this face, I think, is shorter than mine. So it should hit where it needs to. I don't hate it. Getting there. Getting there. Not bad. Okay. Now this next bit's like that just kind of trimming and layering section I was talking about earlier. So I like to like comb it out. Because it needs to go this way. And I know my elbow's in the way, so I just kind of, I sprayed it and combed it kind of the direction I want it to go. Because it's supposed to like caress over his ears. I think I'm going to layer it out first and go from there. And come here, come. Yeah, there we go. One thing I've learned with like using layering scissors on wigs and stuff, and I'm assuming it goes the same way with actual hair, is I don't layer, like keep layering in the same spot because it's gonna look really weird. You get, because it does like a solid line and then combs out the rest of the hair. So you'll just have like a dent where you were layering it. So try to like blend it out if you can. Makes it wispier, so now I'm going to cut off this bit here at a slant. Okay, so if I use like the tip of these scissors, they're not terrible. Still not great, but not awful, I suppose. How short do I want to go with this? Yeah, a little bit shorter. Just let it fall, kind of see. I might trim that up later, but right now it's fine. Want to get like the general look of it and then go back in and fine tune it. And that's one thing I like about this wig compared to the last one I had. This one is really thick, and like you don't, the last time like I would lift up something, a piece like that, and there'd be like a gaping hole from where it was sewn in at on the cap. It was really frustrating, so I couldn't cut it as short as I needed to. And this one, it looks like natural hair, like, if any of that makes sense. So when you're looking for wigs to style, it helps to find one, and this isn't always going to be the case depending on what you want to do, because you might have to get, I think it's pronounced weefs or whiffs. It's W-E-F-T. And they're like the parts you sew in onto the wig cap. There's also a hot glue method. I haven't tried either of these. These are just what I've heard of. It helps to find one that's already close to the style, because it'll take you a lot less time to go in and style it. Like, this will probably take me a good 2 to 3 hours. I'm not going to make this video 2 to 3 hours. I'll not make you sit through that. I mean, you could click off onto something else, but I want to make this comprehensive. So, and then if it's good and thick, you won't have big gapes. If you cut too short, you can blend it in with the bottom layers. You want something to make your life easier, if possible. And all wigs are different. All wig companies do their wigs differently. So sometimes you might get a wig from a company you really like, you've not had problems for, and that certain wig just doesn't work, and you have to go to another company. And, and you flip-flop back and forth. You just find whatever is best for you, if that makes any sense. Alright. Now, this is fairly long. Is it? About here-ish. So apprehensive about cutting this thing. And see, like, the back's already layered pretty well. I just got to shorten it a little bit. I don't have to do too much to style it, which is really nice. I do got to bring some more. That wasn't grammar. I'm sorry. I apologize for poor grammar. I got to bring some back up over here. We'll get there when we get there. Clear that out. Because if you're interested in cosplay, I want you to go for it. And not, like, you'll see amazing things. And some of the stuff you see is really difficult to do. But some of it's not that difficult. It doesn't have to be really expensive. But like I was saying, I want everyone to be able to cosplay if they want to cosplay, and not think it's really difficult to get into or super expensive. I know, like, one time I mentioned that my cosplays will range from like $150 to $200 that per cosplay, but that depends on what I'm doing and how much detail I'm putting in them. Like the Sydney mod outfit I'm doing, the jumpsuit costs $50. I already have the bleach to bleach the dye. I got some color remover that was like $4, and then the dye is about $4 or $5, and I'm going to end up using 3 bottles of that. And then get some fabric for the red detailing, and then for the patch, which will probably come out to about $10 because I'm not getting that much, and I always use coupons. Like, if I have coupons, I'm going to use it. And it'll only be that much because I always get extra. So, yeah. It doesn't, like I said, I have like beginner and intermediate skills. I'm learning a lot, and I want to share what I'm learning with you guys and be like, it's not that hard. It is very doable. You can throw together great cosplays, even in a night, with stuff you have around your house. And, I mean, I did that for one Dragon Con once, and it actually turned out pretty well. I literally just threw like a button-down shirt and some shorts on and a hair tie and made it work. And people are like, oh, you're that thing. Yeah, you actually recognize it. That's awesome. So you don't have to go super elaborate. If you want to, by all means do it. Fucking go for it. But it's not a necessity. And don't feel discouraged because you see, you know, all these cosplayers have been doing it for years. They know every tip and trick. And like they've practiced, they've learned, you know, they've had to go, they've done all of it. And if you're just starting out, you're not going to know everything, and that's okay. That's what learning is for. So most of this whole section, which will get edited down, is just trimming, layering this out, and then trimming it up. Because Arda already pretty much did most of the work for me when they made the wig. So I don't have to do a whole hell of a lot. Which makes my life easier, makes your lives easier. And I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but I turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. Because I'm going to be the one wearing this. But I'm just taking those layering scissors, kind of just generally snipping where I think it'll look good, where I feel like it needs to be thinned out just a little bit to give it that waspiness, that wispiness. I don't know why I keep saying waspiness. That's not a thing. Like, this isn't going to be an asshole and sting me just because I breathed in its general direction. This I'm probably just trim up down here because it's already pretty long. Like, it touches his collar, it goes behind his collar. And one thing I'll do, like, through the process when I get close to being done, I'll put it on with the costume and see where it hits at and see if I need to do anything else. Alright, so I want to show you how, what I'm doing now. So I went through and layered this half of the head just a little bit, just to give myself a better guideline. That may not make any sense, but it works for me. And now I'm just kind of going through and like doing small cuts. I'm like getting like the top layer of hair and just kind of going that. And I'm going at an angle so it has like that texture his hair has. That makes any sense. So I'm just kind of picking it up, cutting, and then where I have these blunt cuts, I'll go through with the layering scissors and kind of go like that. And I'm making sure it is still like layered. I'm trying not to cut too much off. And like I mentioned earlier, this doesn't grow back, so take your time with it. Don't rush through it. There's no reason to. Unless it's like the day of the con, but at that point, I really wouldn't bother unless you were just like, I have to. Like, okay. To go thin and then cut. Small cuts, short cuts. Alright. And see, like these blunt edges here. Snippity snip. Whoop. And now it's all wispy. It's like magic. And see how like I've given him more texture now by doing that. It's also important to pin it down so like it'll move on you while you're cutting or combing or something, and can really just mess up your whole cut. Like one half might be uneven because it's just gonna do whatever it wants. Trying to make sure he's where I want him to be. I feel like this top layer is pretty good. Make sure I pick up the correct scissors. Go through that a little bit wispier. Now I'm just trying to like get a general style idea because it goes like that. But at the same time, like not put a gaping hole in the wig. Goes over like that. That needs to be shorter then. Okay. I'm trying to give myself a better idea of what I'm doing by, or which way the hair needs to go by spraying it in the direction, or hairspraying it in the way I want it to go. See if I need to cut anymore. I know it looks like I'm just kind of snipping away, and I kind of am, but I'm also following that guideline I just made. Kind of like when you try to draw on lines of a paper, but then you gotta go off and do something. That made no sense, but I think I mentioned in the Ozawa Eraserhead one, I have a love-hate relationship with styling wigs because I love styling. I love seeing how they come out afterwards and being really proud of my work. But at the same time, I hate cutting them. It kind of hurts my heart a lot. So I know that's weird. I'm an odd person, but it's just it's painful. Like, somebody went to the trouble of making it to begin with, and then I just go in and go nah, and hope for the best. Just how I attack things in life. Nah! And we're there. Okay. Alright, so now I'm gonna wet it down a little bit. I don't really have a reason, I just want to. I feel like it makes it easier for me. I'm gonna brush out any stray hairs. Make sure I get everything in order, direction I want it. Now I'm gonna put more of that gel stuff in. Any of you out there have a hairstyle like this where like you have to like put a lot of product in it and make it texturized and stuff like that? And if you do, how long does that take? Is it frustrating? Like, I cut my hair short so I didn't have to deal with any of that. I can't imagine. But if you did, I'd love to know and what your thoughts on it are. If you love it or if it wasn't the best decision in the world. Go the direction I want you to go. What I'm doing, because my elbow's in the way, but I'm taking the comb, making the hair go the direction I want it to go. Now, if this wig doesn't turn out the way I want it to, I'm going to give up and just buy a Prompto Wig. And there's no shame in that, because there's always going to be somebody better than you at something. And it's just one of those things, is like, I will take that L, and I will find a way to make this better by doing other things, or buying something. And there's, like again, I've said it before, there's no shame in buying your own, buying the cosplay at all. If you want to make it yourself, make it yourself. My Black Widow, I bought and then just tweaked it over the years. It's not how it came out of the box at all, except for the suit, the baseline suit itself. But outside of that, I've completely changed it and made it my own. And like I said, there's no shame in buying it and having it as is. You know, out of the box. Cosplay is your interpretation of the character. It, you know, based on, like, and you show that however your skills or your budget or whatever allows you and what you want. And that's the great thing about it. If anybody tells you, oh, you can't, it's not a real cosplay if you buy it, tell them to fuck off, because that's some bullshit. And they're just trying to be like flex a superiority muscle or whatever. So you like, stop, please. You're just making a fool of yourself and hurting people in the process. And it's not cute, it's not funny, it doesn't make you clever, it just makes you an asshole. Okay, I could go a little shorter up here, but I'm gonna wait. And see, I definitely cut too much here. Thankfully I can cover it. Yeah. And by cut, I mean thin out. Why are you weird? Trouble with like kind of styling it with like the hairspray and the gloop is that it can clog up your scissors, which is annoying. But I'm not a hairstylist, so I have to give myself a guideline and make it work for me. I feel like you can see the textures. Yeah. Alright, now for the back. He has like this point that comes down right here. Might just be able to like go like this with the layering scissors and not have to do too terribly much. See, and this is kind of like what I was talking about with the getting wigs that are kind of styled. I will not have to do much. Like down here, I may trim it up just a little bit, but like layering wise, texture wise, I don't have to do anything, which is really nice. It makes my job a whole lot easier. I don't think I'm going to take the shears to it. I think I'm just going to take the layering scissors to this part and kind of just guide it to where I want it to go. And like thin some bits on the edge and not on the inside. That makes sense? And I still think I might be taking some of these up to the faux hawk. Well, the faux hawk stops here, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't have to do a whole lot, and I'm just going to trim up the bottom a little bit. Hairspray it and gloop it. That's what I'm calling that stuff from now on because it's very gloopy. So I'm going to gloop it. I like to comb through with the hairspray. I don't really know if it does anything. I feel like it does. But that also could just be like my imagination. Do I need to put any gloop in? I don't know if I need to put any gloop in. Maybe. Maybe just a little bit. A little bit to give it some structure. What did I don't think it's called tracks. Is it called tracks or threads? Or is that like the same thing? Am I using the same word for the same thing? Am I wrong? I don't know. I really don't know that much about wigs. But I'm like talking about like what the hair's attached to underneath. Not just the cap, but like the bits in between where you do the layers. I want to say like tracks are the same thing as like the weaves or whiffs. But I don't know. I don't even have hair myself. Okay. I mean, it's not as defined, but I can just go like boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. There. It doesn't look like I did anything to you guys, for you guys, but it's fine. Now on to this side, we're just gonna do, it's slightly different. I think the last time I had to do his bangs first. Okay, so I am gonna like continue styling from the back up to like here. Because this is where like the bangs are and that bit's a little frustrating. So I'm gonna clip this bit out of the way, this front bit, just over there. So I don't accidentally. I find it's easier on the other side to cut the hair in the direction I need. I don't know why, it just is. Probably the way I don't know. I'm just mumbling to myself at this point. And again, I'm just taking like the small, thin layers and then cutting. Not going too crazy with it. Just seeing where it goes. I'm trying to make sure it's at an angle that I like, that it should be. Then I'll go back over it again, do a little bit more layering, and go from there. Right now, it just looks like a choppy mess. I want it to look like a choppy mess. And that's why the layering scissors are so great. When I first did the Prompto Wig, I didn't have layering scissors. I didn't even have shears. I just had the regular scissors. And that was one reason it just, I just wasn't happy with it. It's on my Instagram, if you want to see it. I mean, again, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. But in all seriousness, make it easy on yourself and get better scissors. Okay? I mean, they cost about 20, 22 bucks. You can probably maybe find the same quality ones off of Amazon or something. Because these are like dull. I could probably sharpen them with a knife sharpener. I might try that. And I'll let you guys know how that works. But until then, no, just go ahead and get them. See it as an investment if you're going to be styling a lot of wigs. You know, it'll be useful. It does amaze me, like people who do like, there's that one Steve Universe character that I've only seen like 2 episodes of the show, but she has like, or they, I don't know their gender, has a huge, like, to the gods hair in this, like, big, not a floof or pompadour, just, like, it's, like, piled on top of everybody, but it's, like, I'm really great at describing things, if you guys haven't noticed. It's kind of, like, a little past shoulder length, but it's really tall, and it flips out at the ends. Kind of like, how her hair is in Hairspray, in that musical and movie. If any of you guys have seen that, you guys know who I'm talking about. You guys are down with the kids. You know what's going on. That, like, I've seen people make that, and it's like, oh my god, that is amazing. It has to be so heavy on their heads, though. But just, like, seeing wigs like that, it honestly amazes me. Like, that defy gravity. Speaking of musicals. And it's astounding. I'm like, how do I get that good? I need to get good. So I've been leaning more to cosplays where I don't have to wear wigs or do too much to them, because I don't like wearing wigs for very long. I mean, my hair's short for a reason. I can't stand it. I can't stand having, like, hair touching the back of my neck or my ears. And, like, when I'm wearing a wig, they're hot and they're itchy, and I'll rip them off. I don't like them. But they definitely have their place. So I'll deal with them, I guess. Now I'm just trying to, like, give it more texture, blend it out. And again, see if it's where I want it to be, and make sure it's not looking so chunky like it is right now. Again, make sure you don't have the wig cap part in your scissors, because that could be a nightmare. How's it looking? Looking about even, you guys? Yeah. And I think I've mentioned this before, but like everything I've learned wig wise is watching tutorials on YouTube. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this kind of aligns with your learning style. And if not, you know, there are other ones you can watch that maybe work better for you. And they know more about what they're doing. And that's fine. That's cool. That's what I used, was other people's. I just want to show you how I do it, because we don't all think the same way. We don't all work the same way. And it's nice to have different options. And like, I like step-by-step guides, very detailed. But some people are like, oh, I see what they're doing. That's cool. I got it. Go for it. You do you. Whatever works best for you is what matters the most. Alright. And hairspray. Basically, I just mirrored what I did on the other side, if that helps at all. Try not to pull anything from the front that I need, or his little faux hawk. I don't think I made this side as wispy. Maybe I did. I don't know. We'll see in a moment. I may have to wait to like really style this side part so I get the bangs done. And I think I mentioned this at the beginning, but it depends on what type of wig you're doing, what type of style you're doing, on how long it's going to take to style a wig. Some wigs can take days to style. Others can take a couple hours. Sometimes, like my Sydney wig, took 20 minutes because it already had all the curls in it. It was, again, I bought a wig that was close to the style I needed and then just tweaked it. So I just had to move her bangs over a little bit and trim them. It took like 20 minutes, if that. So it just depends on what you're wanting to achieve. Alright, now for the fun part. Be fun. It's gonna be so fun. So goddamn fun. So this needs to be the long bit. Right here. This is that. Yeah, this is like the other side, where it hits the cheek. But it's short. Yeah, it's shorter than this bit, so I need to cut it here. And that'll be even with that side. Okay. I totally know what I'm doing, you guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And again, pin the stuff you're not going to be cutting out of the way so you don't accidentally cut it. Okay. Well, this does come down like that. Okay. Cool, cool. Not the right scissors, guys. Hey, that didn't turn out too bad. Look at that. Well, not too bad. Well, getting better. It just takes practice. I think it's still okay. I got some room. The margin of error. And if it doesn't turn out perfect, it's okay. I found them this way instead of being like super professional. I'm like voiceover, and then you do this, this, and this is your next step. Because I want you to see the reality of doing this. It can be frustrating, and you know, those type of tutorials are great and really informative. But at the same time, you kind of get your expectations up that you'll be able to do it exactly like that. It's not exactly like that at all. Even for them, because, you know, they've done it before and they've gone through oh, this doesn't look right, or what am I doing? Or I completely messed it up, I have to get another one. Things until they got to the point where they're confident enough in their skills to be like, okay, it's this step and you'll do this, this, and this. And then it's the next step, you'll do this, this, and this. So you just gotta take your time and practice. You'll get better with practice. I know you hear that about everything, but it's true. Like, when I started this in March, I thought I was just gonna buy the wigs. I never thought I would be styling my own wigs and whatnot. And then, but because I want to learn like every aspect of cosplaying and how to make things that I can, just because I want to. Yeah, I can buy the stuff. It's objectively, but at the same time, I want to be able to learn how to do it so I can know how to do it just for me, not for any other purposes. And like back in March, I didn't think I'd be, you know, filming a video to put on the internet to show other people how to style wigs and anything like that. And because I just was like looking through wigs and being like, that's close, but it's not exactly how it is. And I was just like, I'm gonna have to style it myself. That's all it comes down to. And that was a really good decision on my part, I feel, because I've learned so much. And this one thing that like I love about cons, and I haven't really talked about, well, I kind of I've talked about it here and there, is that when you put so much work into something, and even if you don't think it's perfect, is somebody coming up to you and being like, I love your wig, it looks exactly like it, or I love that little detail you have on there, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, you have no idea how much that means to me. Because like my Sydney, I put so much work into her. We were up that whole week finishing her beforehand, and there was still a lot of stuff. I felt like there was a lot of stuff missing, and people were like, I love the details you put on there. I was like, really? Really? Do you mean it? So it's nice. It is definitely an ego boost, I won't lie. Completely. But it's also a confidence boost, and keeps me wanting to keep doing it. And I probably still want to do it a little bit, just because I enjoy doing it, if I didn't get that reaction. But that reaction definitely helps. It definitely is very encouraging. And hopefully, like, some of these things I show you can use in, like, everyday life. Like, say you just choose to start wearing wigs, and you want more style options. Hopefully this helps. Or, like I did the patches video. I know I don't have enough tutorials up. I know. I just haven't been... Everything I've been working on hasn't really been, like, film-worthy or anything. Like, it's simple stuff that you can figure out, like a 2-year-old could figure out, so... I haven't bothered with it too much, but... Hopefully, like, with the patches and using the if, like, you have a patch on a uniform or something, that's a way to fix it, you know. I'm gonna do some sewing tutorials, just like general, like how to sew on a button, you know, stuff that we should be taught in school, like honestly, like middle school, high school, and we're not anymore. I know they used to do it, but how to make a buttonhole, how to sew on a button, make a seam, a hem, and stuff like that, kind of things that you can take to your everyday life. So like you pop a button or a seam comes undone, or you need to hem something, you don't have to go to a seamstress, an alternator. That goes in a car. But you know what I mean? Someone who alters clothes for you. I mean, if you want to, that's what they're there for. But if you don't have the money for that, just knowing how to do it by hand too. And I'll show you that, because that's what I'm actually more familiar with than anything else. So now I'm just, again, reseparating, making sure everything's in its right place. Now this is long, so I'm gonna have to cut this back one some more so this can stay long. I'm gonna trim this little piece. I don't really have to do much to this. I'm gonna thin it out some, and that's about it. But I will have to make this shorter. So I'm gonna go back and not fix because it was okay, but make it shorter so you can see the distinction between this long front piece that he has and this little back piece here. So I think I'm going to go to here. Hopefully I don't fuck it up. Alright, that's not too terrible. And I'll go back and refinagle it in a minute. One tip for cleaning up all the hair, get one of those little hand brooms and dustpans so you can just go like shh, shh, shh. I mean, that's probably common sense, but it helps. It makes life a lot easier. I'm all about working smarter, not harder. Life is hard enough. Don't make it worse. Don't make it harder when you don't have to. So I'm just going to thin this out, layer it up a bit, and I'll gloop it together. And we go on to the bangs. Also, I find when you're not trying to make something perfect, back onto that topic, it comes out better because you're not putting as much stress on yourself, as much pressure, and things just tend to work better when you do that. I mean, that might sound a little crazy or whatnot, or a little silly, but, you know, I just find it works better, at least for me. Now he's like this little wispy bit that kind of goes this way at the top. But it's, yeah, okay. It's a little bit shorter too. So I'm gonna let's use the skills we have learned and implement them, me. And this, you know, can you tell? Kind of, sort of. I'm holding the hair between my fingers, so I'm giving myself a guideline so I don't cut too much off and it's a straighter line or the angle I need it to be so it doesn't look weird. And hairspray. And comb. I hate the way hairspray feels. It just feels so gross and crunchy in your hair. Stay in your lane. You can't see what I'm doing at all. Alright, so I made that wispy a little bit. I'll try fixing it a little bit better. It's okay. And so this is that long bit that hangs down. I really didn't have to do much to it because this wig is already really nice to me. I'm just gonna like trim up some of the little strands and then hairspray it. Comb it. Make sure it's like its own separate piece. There we go. This one here is just doing whatever the fuck it wants. Alright. Get to the bangs. Now this has gotten some hairspray in it from the other stuff, so just kind of give it a quick comb to guide yourself by. And this gets tucked under that wispy bit. This is the part I'm most nervous about cutting wise because it's so easy to mess up. Because it's like this short. His bangs are like this short, but they're also swooped. Oh, I don't want to fuck it up. Oh, no, makes sense. See what I'm doing? So I need to cut. I'm gonna cut low and swoop. Low and swoop. Okay, can you cut though? There's hair in my lap. I hate it. Firstly, little hairs. Should have thinned this out. That would have made my life easier. When did I do that? Common sense. What's that? One day I'll have good scissors. One day. Today is not that day. If you don't reference Lord of the Rings at least once a day, we can't be friends. Just saying. Sorry, not sorry. Oh my god, just be smooth. Why? I don't think you guys can tell, but look at that uneven ass shit. Okay, let's swoop-a-doop-a you. Let me see here. Let me do this. That didn't really do what I wanted you to do at all. And like if I mess it up now, or not like mess it up, but just kind of not perfect style it, I always restyle it before, not like restyle, but just organize it before I wear it at a con, and then like when I take it out of the bag, I'll bring a head with me and just, or put it on my head and kind of just finagle it back where it was, back where it's supposed to be. So as long as it's nothing like permanent, it'll be okay. I need to cut the front some more. And a little bit. You see nothing. No thing. Yeah, because I need him to go like this. So, and this is one part where I may need to hairspray it, gloop it, and pin it, and let it sit and blow dry it, and let it sit like overnight, which I think I might have to do. Because I did that with the curls on Black Widow. Again, I'm just thinning it out, make it easier to cut since those scissors aren't great. Work smarter, not harder, you guys. Guys, if you could see the hair that is all over the place. That's like combing it out also helps get like any loose straggly hairs out after you cut it. So you're not just cutting random pieces that aren't even actually attached to anything. Okay. I'm going for a big cut here. I feel like we're going for a big cut, you guys. I'm trying to get Prompto where I need him to be. Cause I mentioned earlier, like in the game, they have like those dossiers of each people from each section you meet. And you can, except for the women, I noticed on the women characters you can't zoom in. But for all the male characters, you can zoom in and you can turn all the characters 360 and stuff. So I find that that's been really, really helpful. Alright, so I'm going to cut here. Okay, guys. Ooh, nerves. Also, it doesn't help like I'm always shaky because I have hypertension. I don't know if you could tell. This hand. I'm shaking, but you can't see it. which means nothing. So that just, the nerves of cutting this and making a mistake, plus already being shaky, just doesn't help. Okay, and I'm making them a little bit long because once I swoop them, they're gonna be shorter. Make sense? You got me, fam? Preach. I'm actually kind of excited for 30. I have a lot I'm working on, a lot of goals set in place to get to where I want by 30. Want to be by 30, and I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to see what 30 brings me. It's a new decade. It'll be not only a new decade for me, but I'll turn 30 in 2020. So I think it'll just be really good. New decade, new president. I think it'll be a good year. I'm using this year as like foundation, a stepping stone. I think, you know, build my house at 30. Not a literal house. Hopefully I can buy a literal house by 30. That would be nice. Be really nice. Hopefully before then, but you know, credit scores and things like that kind of impede that process a little bit, but it's okay. That's life. I'm just trying to trim up these little bits that you can't really see, but I can see, and it bothers me. If I can turn this, yeah, you can see right there. I mean, again, they are like kind of like the rest of it, are waspy or wispy and things like that. I know words. What are you talking about? Shut up. Don't judge me. Don't judge you. Okay, now let's see. There's that part I already did earlier. Hairspray is pretty legit. Pretty legit. Alright, so I'm going to pin that. Where I want it to sit. Just take a moment to be proud of myself. Proud of the process I've made in the last 3 months. Since the last time I did this. I'm proud of me. You should be proud of me. You know, I appreciate it. I do. So, for the fun part, you can't see it. That part. The mohawk, faux hawk thingamajig. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Maybe it won't be too bad. I don't have to do too much. Like the structure of his... Should have... Stay! As I move it. This I probably could have, I mean, it's a little late for it now. Could have gotten some more, leaves, tracks, threads. I don't know what they're called. I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making shit up as I go. Build it up. So if you try that, if you put like weave swifts, tracks, whatever they're called, extra at the top to like build it up, let me know, and I want to see how it turns out. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Please stop moving. That would be very nice of you. Don't move. Don't make me cry. Okay, so it kind of goes like whoop. And since this wig's already layered out, I'm not going to worry about too much layering out on it. Just because that's going to be a pain in the ass. And I already have to cut it a little bit. So it's kind of like that. See?